Vero Cinema, Venezia73, ieri abbiamo avuto l'opportunità di vedere Boys in the Trees, il primo film di Nicholas Verso, e abbiamo appunto l'occasione di averlo qua con noi per fargli appunto diverse domande sulla sua prima opera. Hi Nick.
Hello.
Hi. For my first question, my colleague.
Sure.
Why did you need to tell us with this particular story?
So with this story, I was really interested in celebrating the teen experience in Australia and growing up. And one of the things that I thought about was how the friends that you have as a teenager and what happens when those relationships sever as you step into adulthood. And sometimes you don't realise who has the biggest influence and effect on you. So I wanted to celebrate that and do it in the 90s, because as we now live in this very technological era with Facebook and mobile phones and the internet, and think about what we said goodbye to from that period. Yeah.
How was working to your first movie?
Yeah, I had a great time making my first film. It was a strange shoot because I was in a city that I wasn't from, and it was, our shoot is nearly all night shoot, so we were like vampires getting up at sunset and filming till sunrise and then going back to bed. So it was a very fun, crazy shoot, and we had fireworks and smoke flares going off and teenagers running around. So there was a lot of energy, and it was like, yeah, it felt very silly at times, but I had a ball. It was really great, and yeah, it was a long slog to get there, but yeah, it was a wonderful time.
You are also a DJ.
Yes.
How did this affected the way of you make movies? For example, I hear the tracks of Marilyn Manson or Rammstein. I love those.
Yeah, they're great, hey. Well, yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, originally the film was set modern day, and I found the technology was just getting in the way, and when I went back to the 90s, it all started to make sense. And one of the things that led me there was, in Melbourne, I run a 90s night, and it's very successful, and I was looking out at the teenagers and how they have this nostalgia for this music that they weren't alive for, and I thought, this is a good rhythm. And I guess DJing helped me as a filmmaker learn about what you can get away with an audience when you've got 1,000 people in front of you and you've got to keep them moving for 5 hours. You learn a lot about rhythm and where you can take them and when to wake them up and when you can slow them down and pace things. So yeah, I think DJing has really helped my filmmaking a lot.
Back to the 19th. I can feel nostalgia, many, in this movie, like Nirvana's posters, first computer, printer that doesn't work, portable CD player. Okay, there is a particular reason why the movie set in the 1997.
Yeah, well, for me, I was looking back at when everyone started getting their first mobile phones and email and all that sort of thing, because exactly, and I wanted the teenagers to be alone in the night. I wanted them to be uncontactable, unreachable, and off the grid. And so that felt like the last time teenagers could do that. You know, they didn't have people texting them, and they spoke to each other face to face. You know, they had big conversations. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't over Skype. It wasn't via, Snapchat. It was face-to-face interaction. And so for me, it opened up communication. And also when I researched that year, I thought the world changed so much that year. And the world we live in now, with all the technology and some of the conservatism we live with now, I thought a lot of that was born out of that era. You know, it was born out of that specific year in terms of the laws that got passed, the people that died who never got replaced. So I think 1997 was when who we are today was born. Mm. Oh, cool.
I heard that you will present Boys in the Hood, in the tree. Sorry,
another 90s film.
At the next Busan Film Fest. Which are your plans for international distribution?
Oh yeah, well we're not quite sure at this point. We may have to make a decision in the next couple of days. So yeah, we've had a few offers. Normally with Australian films you have your international sales in advance, and so we've kind of broken that model by just making the film, because on a script level on the page people didn't understand the film, whereas once you watch it I think it makes a bit more sense. So we've had some offers, so we will see. I want to get it out all over the world. I'd love to get it as far and wide as I can. So yeah, so it's so thrilling that the first screenings be here in Italy, like on the opposite side of the world from Australia. Yeah.
And the last question, which reaction do you expect from the public?
Well, it's hard to know. You know, like I just made the film I wanted to make, and hopefully they like it. I hope that people who grew up in the 90s enjoy it. I hope I hope it feels true to them, that it captures the period and the nostalgia for that era. And I hope young people also like seeing a story that's a little different to the ones they used to. I think teenagers now are used to watching Marvel films and blockbusters, and I thought, and everyone thinks teenagers are a little more simple than they are, whereas I think teenagers are very complicated and can be very philosophical. And so I wanted to make a film that spoke to how smart they are and didn't underestimate them. So I hope that they don't mind that, and I hope they respond well to that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.